Welcome back to the channel, friends. So today I'm going to do a quick snow plowing video with the Polaris Sportsman 1000 XP, and I have my 66-inch Glacier Pro plow system on the machine, and it has the electric hydraulic power pivot system. And pretty much this thing is a complete beast when it comes to anything under 12 inches. The ATV is my preferred method of cleaning the driveway. But once I get up over 12 inches of snow and it becomes heavy, I end up going to the Honda snowblower, which is my go-to machine. But for the most part, if I have space to make snow mounds here in the driveway or on the grass, I go with the ATV because it's just the quickest method of removing snow for me. If you don't know already, my driveway is about 800-900 feet long, and it's not straight. So it has a bunch of turns in it, and this is like the quickest method I've found so far. When you need to take care of like 3-4 inches, and like I said, up to 12 inches, this machine will take care of it no problem. So I'm gonna get the machine warmed up, but actually beforehand, I want to show you guys, I just did a whole bunch of mod videos on the machine, and the coolest mod so far is the biggun exhaust. This is a biggun EXO stainless steel exhaust, full stainless steel slip-on, and I did also the power commander, or power box, however you want to call it. And as you see it right there, I have it mounted right on the top here for right now. I might switch that location eventually, but for right now, it's okay. Don't worry about that stuff flashing. That just means there's no signal to the fuel injectors. So really quick, I'll go over the machine. It came factory with all the bumpers and the rack extenders and everything. I added the KFI Tiger Tail, and I made a modification of my own. I added a bigger hook onto it and a hook that has a keeper. Okay, the Tiger Tail comes with a hook that does not have a keeper, and I just prefer to have something that's more captive when I'm capturing a load or pulling something. I added the Polaris brush guards, hand guards, okay? Snowmobile grab bar, obviously the plow, synthetic rope on the winch. What else did I do? Oh, I have also the Polaris cargo rack here. Really nice addition when you need to have storage on the machine. And I have this really nice off-road trailer that I hooked up nicely with some tool holders, and I welded on a tongue jack as well, an adjustable tongue jack. And that trailer has served me well over the past few months. So I'm gonna get the machine warmed up and show you how it plows and how great this 66-inch plow is on this ATV. Because of the weight of the machine and it being a 1000, you have the power and weight to push a larger plow. Okay, normally you would see like a 4-foot plow, a 48-inch, 50-inch plow on an ATV, but this right here is basically the plow you would put on a side-by-side, but it's mounted on my 1000 XP. And as you can see, it's not going to have any problems whatsoever pushing this kind of snow. It's really powdery snow, really light stuff, so it should have no problem whatsoever. Alright, so let me get the machine warmed up, and I'll show you the thing in action. Right now I still have the suspension set to the soft setting, front and rear. Normally when I'm plowing, I'll do all the way firm in the front, so click that adjustment on this for the preload on the shock all the way to its maximum for maximum stiffness, and leave the rear in soft. But right now I'm trying just soft and soft, all the way soft, the lowest amount of preload on it, front and rear, and see how that goes, because I like to ride the ATV on trails, and I really don't want to have to adjust those shocks every single time. But I do see an improvement when you do full firm preload in the front here, because it just gives the ATV a better stance, and it pushes harder on the ground, it seems, and the plow stays onto the ground better, and it just seems like it floats better and it digs in better. So I'm just gonna try this the way it is, so like I said, soft and soft, and see how it goes. So when you do have it set on soft, all the way soft, it basically does weigh down the machine a lot more with the plow. If you had it set all the way firm, you'd see more stance on the machine, and pretty much the weight of the plow would not affect it as much. But it seems like it's okay. This machine actually has a 2-inch lift kit on it, front and rear. It's the high lifter lift kit, so it still has good clearance and good stance, even with the weight of the plow on there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish up the driveway here now. I always drive the ATV in low when I'm doing work with the plow. That way I have maximum power. Anything under 10 miles an hour, that's where you want to be. You want to be in low gear, no matter what you're doing, really. If you're pulling anything or plowing, pulling that trailer I have, it's always in low gear. And all-wheel drive as well. That's what I'm doing here today. So I have my heated grips and I have my heated thumb on. And this machine's a true beauty when it comes to snow plowing. I really enjoy snow plowing with this. It takes care of the driveway in no time. Usually, if I wasn't filming, it'd probably take about 10-15 minutes the most to do the whole driveway the way I just did. But normally I would actually go ahead and, when I clear this area, I would just go up and down the driveway a bunch of times as I'm doing this kind of middle area or intermediate area here. But you get the idea. Just for the purpose of the video, I kind of did a different pattern just so I could get better kind of angles of the machine plowing. So let's go ahead and finish up this snow plow removal here on the driveway. Low gear, plows down. So I want to push everything to the left side of the property, because that way it slopes that way and there's just more room on this left side. So when I do the front of the driveway, I normally straighten the blade out as I go across the threshold, because it just floats better on the ground. Otherwise you're going to get like a mismatch in the blade and the driveway, and it's just not going to clean up the snow properly. So let's make sure we're in low gear going forward. So as you can see, I did a couple passes really quick, and I mean, I was going like 15, 20 miles an hour up the driveway there, and this machine was just pulling like crazy. It was, that snow was like basically almost not even there in the mind of the machine. So I just do that a bunch of times, and I'll come in and I'll do a couple passes to make some mounds here on the side, and just do a couple cleanup passes, and then I'll be done. I just hit a hard edge there. There's a lot of hardened snow underneath here from the past snowfall, so there's already a mound of snow that's hardened, and that's what I'm hitting there, and it's stripping the blade. So one little key tip is that as I come off the driveway edge, I start pulling up on the plow. So you might not notice this as I'm plowing, but maybe you will catch it on video. But as I'm going over the driveway edges, like especially like right here, as I'm like pushing these mounds over, I come up with the plow just a little bit, just like a few inches, like 2-3 inches, just to get up over the edge, and that way I'm not killing the grass too much. And I pretty much do that whenever there's a transition from the driveway asphalt to the grass. You can't see it right now, but right here there's the grass driveway line here, and pretty much that's what I do. I don't kind of drive the plow into the grass. I try to save my grass as much as possible. So let's take another run down the driveway and do a cleanup pass. I'll back up a little bit. I drove over this snow last night coming home from work, so that's why it's kind of really compacted down, because I ended up driving over it with the truck leaving and then coming back home. Typically I try to get the snow before I drive over it and remove it before that point, but sometimes you just can't do that, and you end up just having to do it after the fact. So, all right, let's give it another pass. So like I said, when I do the transition from the driveway onto the street, I do not go this way with the plow. I end up going onto the street and then coming back, putting my plow blade down, and then skimming this way, floating this way towards the house. The reason is because if I do it the other way around, it's this way, it's gonna pick up the edge, the seam on the transition there of my driveway to the road, and it's gonna trip the blade really hard. So it's better for me in my situation to come from the other side and come towards the house, into the driveway. And that way it saves the driveway seam there from not being all pulled up and chewed up and destroyed. So that's what I do. And it seems like it works just fine. It leaves a nice clean edge kind of like that. Straighten that blade out and kind of be as parallel as possible. Got that big gun exhaust, stainless steel. One hell of a machine. Alright, so I'm done with the driveway. I'm okay with the suspension settings. I really don't like having it set to soft, but it's kind of a good balance between me trail riding and getting work done here on the driveway when it comes to plowing. But I do notice the machine lurches forward a lot more when you have it set to soft, so I do recommend going with the firm setting if you can pull that off all winter long. But I don't know, I may go back and forth because it just it pitches forward way too much for my liking. So this snow here was about 4 or 5 inches of about heavy wet snow. It's been sitting for about a day, so it had time to like kind of melt and you know, saturate a little bit. But the machine did a great job. It had no problem whatsoever with that 1000 cc's, and with me being about 205, 200, and the machine about 850, I would say, with the plow and fuel, I mean, you got over 1,000 pounds of weight there, and it does a great job with traction. As you can see, I drove up over that snowbank with the plow just so I could chop off the top half of that snowbank a little bit. It is hardened, so it wasn't really going anywhere, but I ended up driving right over it and then smashing that pole right there for the shed. So that shed's going to be gone anyways. There's going to be a garage going there in place of it, so I'm really not too worried about that. All right, so really quick, I'll give you a walk around the machine. The machine is a 2018, if I haven't said it already, but I've been putting things on it here and there, modifications, little add-ons, you know. Like I said, the KFI Tiger Tail 2-inch lift kit by High Lifter, Polaris hand guards, obviously plow setup. What else did I do? Power commander, big gun exhaust. You heard that throughout the video. So yeah, plowing with the ATV is a lot of fun. You get some time on the machine, you have fun, and at the same time you take care of kind of the work you have to do on the property. So I'm going to leave it at that. And here's a nice shot of the big gun exhaust. Well guys, I really hope you enjoyed the ATV plowing video. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, please place them down below. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please go ahead and do so. And please hit that notification button if you don't mind. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.